Hey guys, I wanted to show you some easy ways that I build up texture in my watercolor paintings. So let's get started. First, you're going to just want to tape out your painting area for a clean finish. I work with a lot of different art mediums and I've recently been very drawn to oil pastels. The cool thing about them is that they work really well with watercolors because they're both matte mediums. And pastels give you a way to add in some extra color and pigment to your watercolor paintings in an easy way. Pastels, like crayons, also resist watercolors, meaning that you can draw whatever you'd like and be able to freely paint over your pastels without affecting them. So here I'm just sketching in a little bumblebee and some lavender. We're going to add a nice background to this in a moment. Here I'm just adding in some more pigment to the bee so he pops. Then with a wet brush, you're just going to drag that across your paper so our background easily blends together. So this is like a wet blend. Here you can see how the pastels resist the watercolor. An important thing to know when building up texture is that there should be contrasting levels of that texture throughout. So incorporating wet blends into your pieces is an easy way to start building that up. You'll want to really work at getting this background saturated for our next steps. Adding salt is an easy way to quickly add in some texture because as the paint dries, the salt removes some of the pigment wherever it lands. I also use an old vegetable brush to add in rough texture. I do this by dipping it into some paint and just kind of tapping or even wiping that on there to blend that in. The nice thing about using pastels is that you can add watercolor around them and really build up the dimension of what you're painting. Here I'm just adding some drops of lemon juice. This reacts to our paint in a similar way to the salt, but with a very different result. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a little bit. For an easy way to brighten up a painting, you can use watercolor markers to add more pigment in an easy and precise manner. I'm a very messy painter and just person in general, so this really does help me out sometimes. This is nice because it gives you the precision of pastels, yet blends easily into the painting. Here I'm just adding some lavender to the background and building up some contrast around our pastel lavender. So this is how it looks as it's drying. That's what the lemon juice does, and that is what the salt does. So you can just see that difference there. Once that was dry, I just went in with some more pastels to make this bumblebee a little plumper. Just adding any finishing touches. And then I'm just removing any salt and decided to just write a little message. I first wrote this in pencil and then used my watercolor markers to write it out. I just wrote "Be mine" because I live for puns and it fits in with our little bumblebee there. With the edge of my brush, I just blended out some of the sides of this to give it more of a painted feel. Now that this piece is all done, I just removed all of the masking tape. As you can see, there's a lot of different built-up textures that you can build up quickly in your watercolor pieces. I actually really love how this turned out, and I think it's important to try out different things and keep a sense of fun in your art. And yeah, so that's just some of the fun ways that I build up texture in my pieces. I hope you liked today's video. I post every Sunday and Wednesday. If you'd like to see more content, then please hit subscribe. Bye guys, see you later!